Howdy, y'all. Caleb here, and time to look at some lists from this past weekend. I was scrolling through BCP trying to find if anybody had done really well at the big GTs, the 5 game tournaments, and I didn't see any big Seraphon lists that had done well. I didn't see any 4-1s. I didn't see any 5-0s. So I decided to start scrolling through some of the 1 day tournaments, the 3 game tournaments. And I found a couple lists that I like, and we'll take a look at those and see how they did. 3 of them in particular that we'll focus on. The first one comes from the Death Alliance Death Fest tournament. A smaller tournament here. I think it was only 6 people at this tournament. But David Townsend, or not David, how about DJ Townsend won this tournament, went 3-0. So that's notable enough. Winning a tournament, doesn't matter how big or small. Let's take a look at his list. It's a Thunderlizard list. And here we go. Oh, it's in, I think it was written in Battle Scribe. So we'll have to squint our eyes here to look at this one. But we got core battalions. We've got bounty hunters and warlord for the extra enhancement there in warlord. And bounty hunters will give you 1 extra damage on your attacks versus Galician veterans. Quite useful, especially for quite a few of our units. Our leaders are Engine of the Gods with heal, and that's in Warlord. We've got a Source Astrolith Bearer with Fusel of Conflagration, do some mortal wounds. We have a Skink Star Priest with Hand of Glory, a Slawn Star Master with the Tixie Grubs and Stellar Tempest. I love the Tixie Grubs on a Slawn because it lets you get that reroll for your spells and, well, heal in your hero phase. So a very useful artifact there. We also have a Stegadon with Skink Chief. That's our general, it looks like. Prime War Beast, Beastmaster, and Skystreak Bow. So that you can really stack up some attacks on the Stegadon with Skink Chief. You've got extra attacks from the Prime War Beast. You've got extra attacks from Beastmaster. You can get extra attacks from the Sacred Asterisms. And you can get extra attacks from his command point. So you could really pump up the number of attacks on the Stegadon Chief. Still only -1 Ren, but hey, you can get a whole lot of attacks. But let's see, we do notice that these are the old points, and we're probably going to see a couple of weekends of tournaments we using the old points until everybody gets caught up on those. We have the Engine of the Gods that goes up to 285 now, so we're 20 points shy there. Astrolith goes up 15. The Slawn goes up 20, so 55 points we need to make up so far. Let's keep looking at this list. We got a Basiladon with Solar Engine for lots of pew-pewing. We have Source Warriors, just looks like 10 of them. And then 2 Stegadons in Bounty Hunters. Ooh, I like that. And I think that's what made me bookmark this list. Well, he won the tournament, but also I love seeing the Stegadons in Bounty Hunters. Probably not the best unit we have to put in Bounty Hunters, but it sure is a heck of a lot of fun. When they get to charge some Galician veterans. That's exactly 2,000 points. So, we've got to make up, 55 points here in this list going forward. Oh, what do I want to drop? Man, I think the things that I would end up changing would probably be the Astrolith, maybe the Star Priest. The Star Priest in this list is probably buffing your Basiladon until you're ready to send in your Stegadon Chief. But the Astrolith, he's buffing all your wizards, but you're not really pushing anything too far with the Astrolith. So maybe the Astrolith would be the thing I'd have to drop. That would gain you a few points. You'd have enough points to maybe put in a unit of Skinks or a Endless Spell or something. Of course, if you remove the Astrolith, you don't really want Endless Spells in there because they pair together so well. But I think, you might end up having to lose the Astrolith or the Skink Star Priest. Bummer. But hey, great list, and good job winning the tournament, DJ. Nicely done. The next one that I liked was from the OP Age of Sigmar tournament. We had Drew running a Thunderlizard list. He went 2-1. Good job there. I think it was a smaller tournament still, only 7 players. But here's his list, and I think this one had had a bunch of Stegadons in it, so that caught my eye. Thunderlizard with our leaders of Engine of the Gods as our general with Prime War Beast and Fusel of Conflagration, Mount Trait Beastmaster, and Prayer Curse. So a Engine of the Gods great. That's probably why it went up 20 points. Very good support piece, and then later in the game you can always send it in to actually do melee. So it's a good piece there, especially when paired with a Salon Starmaster who's got the spell Stellar Tempest to bust up some hordes, and a Skink Priest. With Prayer of Heals. So all three of his heroes are going up in points. So we've got 20 points that are going up on the engine, 20 points on the Salon, and 30 points on the Skink Priest. Already up 70 points on this list. Not good, not good. We do have 10 Skinks, 20 Skinks. So we got, a total of 30 Skinks there. And then we have 3 Stegadons. Nice. And a Bastildon with Solar Engine. And those are all fitting in a battle regiment. So that's nice. So all fit in a battle regiment. We do have an endless spell, Life Swarm, and that brings us at 1965. So, I'm looking at trying to shave off 70 points to make up for our point increases. And I'm probably taking it off the Life Swarm. You're already down, a couple of points here. You're down 35 points already. So you only need to shave off another 35. You're probably going to take it off of the Emerald Life Swarm. Or if you don't care about this big unit of Skinks, you can end up taking another, a unit of Skinks off of there to shave your points there. But yeah, you got to take them from somewhere. Your Priest is buffing your Bastildon, your Salon and the Engine are doing what they do. And your Stegadons are just, they're out there doing some shooting and doing some charging. So I like the list. You're going to have to let me know what you're going to drop, because I think it would be either the Life Swarm or 10 Skinks. Bummer. But good job. 2-1 with a Stegadon heavy list. That's always a good showing. That's a fun time right there. A fun list. A narrative list, as they would say. And the third list I wanted to look at was from, where was this from? Marauders Massacre. And I think we had 16 people in this tournament, a one-dayer, and I saw Johannes running a Koatl's Claw list. So, of course, I had to click on that to see what he's doing. He went 2-1, so a good job there, especially with a Koatl's Claw list. So let's take a look at this. We have a leader of Engine of the Gods with Curse. So, put in your mind, we got to make up 20 points here. A Scar Veteran on Carnosaur as the general with War Spear, command trait Dominant Predator, artifact Eviscerating Blade, and mount trait Beastmaster. I still like this. For 215 points, the Scar Veteran on Carnosaur I think is priced about right. He's cheap. He can do some damage. A lot of times he'll whiff. Easy to kill, but it's only 215 points. So I think that's a reasonable price for the Scar Veteran on Carnosaur. I just wish it still did what we could do in the previous edition. If you didn't play Koatl's Claw back then, you could really pump up all your command points. And so you could generate a lot of command points, and then you could spend a lot of command points. And that's kind of, the wording is still that way. So the Scar Veteran was designed to use a lot, like it would go into combat and use a ton of command points on itself. And the command trait, Dominant Predator, would let you recycle those back on a 4-up. Every time you spend one, you get one back. And so you kind of keep that train rolling. Eviscerating Blade would do mortal wounds. The Scar Veteran was already exploding hits. Now you've got to choose which one you're going to do. Of course, you'll do Eviscerating Blade to do the mortal wounds. But you used to be able to do so much fun stuff with the Scar Veteran on Carnosaur, or any of the Carnosaurs. You could run them in tandem and like buff them up and just go have a fun time with them, as long as you had enough command points. Like I would spend like 6 command points on a turn just buffing these things to the sky, but I would kill whatever I needed to. That was so much fun. Anyway, it doesn't do any of that now. Oh man, now you can only spend 1 command point per turn on a unit, or per phase on a unit. So all that fun. We'll have to wait until they update Koatl's Claw and Sora stuff to the new edition, whenever that happens. We've also got a Slon Star Master with a Tixie Grubs and Celestial Equilibrium. Love a Tixie Grubs. I like that on this Slon. He's taking his little snack pack of worms with him to give him rerolls, hit rolls of, or reroll spells. We have a Star Priest with Hand of Glory and a Star Seer with Hand of Glory. Those pair so well and with the Knights. And he's got 3 units of Knights here, all in Bounty Hunters. Yeah, good. All in Bounty Hunters. The Star Priest will give you those mortal wounds to on wound rolls of 6, which is great for Knights because you're rolling a ton of dice. Hand of Glory will let you reroll the hit rolls of 1, and Star Seer will usually you'll put that onto the enemy unit that you're going to go attack, and that'll be -1 to the save. So essentially gives your Knights rend. So if you're now hitting with rend on a unit of galley vets, doing extra damage, doing mortal wounds, throwing 70 dice at your opponent, it's always a ton of fun. They buff the Knights just so well. We do have a unit of guard to guard the Slon, and 20 Saurus Warriors. I like this next tech here. We do have 2 units of Chameleon Skinks. I think they offer a lot in Koatl's Claw that Koatl's Claw doesn't really have, like movement shenanigans, teleporting. Chameleon Skinks, they're not going to do a ton of damage. They're going to die super easy, but they provide you that backboard threat where you can steal their objectives if they have to push forward. You can make them deploy differently, knowing that you've got 2 units in reserves that can deep strike behind them. And, they can do mortal wounds on 6s to hit. So it is a way to get some mortal wounds in this list, even if you're only rolling 20 total dice with all those Chameleon Skinks. We do have some Gnashing Jaws and Burning Head endless spells. Love those 2 endless spells. They're a lot of fun. Burning Head and Gnashing Jaws will get you some mortal wounds, and you can generally throw them pretty far. Without the Astrolith, he doesn't have an Astrolith. You're not really going to get him turn 1 unless you're going second. But you can at least get him out there and make him be a threat. Bounty Hunters, Expert Conquerors for the Guard and Warriors, and Warlord. We're coming in at 12 drops, 111 wounds, 1985 points. So we do have to make up some points here. What do we need to make up? We're going to need to make up 40 points off this list to run this list again. You could drop. So we're making up 40 points. We're down 15. Trying to do math in my head. So we need to make up 25 points. Man, just shy of Burning Head. And I don't know that you really want to drop Gnashing Jaws, but that's probably what you're going to have to drop, is either Gnashing Jaws, or I might just drop 10 Warriors, to be honest. 20 Warriors I don't think is going to do much. They're super easy to bracket just by getting 5 wounds on them, and now you're halving their damage output. So I think I would be okay with dropping a unit of Warriors, to be honest. Make that 10. That's where you can make up your points, and then you'd still have a little bit more to play with if you needed to. So, hey, great list and a good job going 2-1 with Koatl's Claw. That's an achievement in and of itself. And this day and age with Koatl's Claw that's written for the last edition. So, all right, guys, those are my lists that I thought were interesting this past weekend. If you played in a tournament and did well or did poorly or did all right, just let us know below in the comments how your games went, what your list was, because we all enjoy seeing that. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.